Welcome to Creepy Joe's Horror Show! With special guest, Slip Rick the Skeleton.
It's not my fault the babes like me, man.
Also, Flo!
Perverts.
And don't forget about your legendary loser host himself, Creepy Joe!
Welcome to Creepy Joe's Horror Show. Tonight we have Puppet Master from 1989.
A group of psychics end up in a battle with a master puppeteer who has discovered the secret of death in the form of 5 murderous puppets.
Alright guys, Puppet Master from 1989. This is a movie I used to watch on VHS a lot when I was a kid. And I didn't realize like how kind of bad it was. You know, when I was that young, but you know, there's like a lot of there's like some sex in it and like some other stuff that I didn't even remember really, but I do remember some key parts. And I was like, maybe I'll revisit this because I haven't seen it in probably 20 years. And yeah, it's the same old Puppet Master, directed by David Schmoller. I think I'm saying that right, probably not. And I like the cast of this movie. Well, certain people in particular, like Paul LeMat, who plays Alex. He plays in one of my other favorite movies, American Graffiti, and a lot of other movies. But he's, you know, when I was a kid, I didn't realize that's who it was. And when I revisited it, I was like, oh man, that's John Milner from American Graffiti. And I didn't realize that when I was a kid, obviously. But anyway, we have William Hickey playing Andre Tallon, Robin Freites playing Megan Gallagher, and Irene Miracle playing Dana, Catherine O'Reilly playing Carlissa, and Matt Rowe playing Frank. There's a lot of people, you know, involved in this movie, unfortunately. Jimmy Skaggs is Neil Gallagher, and Moose Small playing Teresa. You can't like these names are so bizarre, even for today's standard. Like today, people are naming their kids like crack and shit. Like they'll name it whatever they want. It's just the world we live in today. But back then, you know, this is like old school here, and you know, these artists. I mean, maybe it's because they're artists and they're actors or actresses. Like a lot of them have made up names and they're like really bizarre, and I can't pronounce them, as you guys know. So anyway, this movie is about puppets. You know, as you could probably put that together. But it starts out with, you know, an old man being visited by 2 Nazis. And I didn't know that they were Nazis until like I read that. I just thought that they were like FBI or something. I didn't know. And they're going there to, you know, kill him or confiscate his secret, because he knows, and you don't find this out till later, but he knows a way that the Egyptians used to put life into objects. And so he's putting life into these puppets and, you know, training them to get revenge, and, you know, they have to like eat brain fluid or something like that, or drink brain fluid it's like their fuel. I don't know, man. So anyway, the guy kills himself before the soldiers get into the room, and he hides the puppets in the wall. So then it like fast forwards, and there's this. I'm going to really put this in a nutshell because I don't need to go frame for frame with this movie. It is not worth it. But anyway, I mean, you'll get it. Just so there's a group of like psychics, or they all have like special powers or whatever, and they find out that someone else in their group of psychic people or whatever, they have visions. He's dead, and he found out, you know, the secret of the doctor that killed himself at the beginning, his secret of how to put this life into objects or whatnot. And so they all go there to this house to like eat a dinner, and they were all invited. And the characters are all weird, you know, like they're all weird in their own different ways. Like the one, you know, John Milner, aka Alex. Alex dreams things that come true. The one girl, like anywhere she's at, she can remember, like know what went on in that area. That, you know, like if she lays in a bed, she can feel everyone who ever had sex in the bed. It's bizarre, and you know, some of them are just psychic. Whatever. So anyway, the whole movie in a nutshell is these puppets are, you know, killing them like one by one in, you know, bizarre ways, different ways. And the puppets are great, you know, like, you know, you got one with like a drill on its head. You know, it's Puppet Master. If you haven't seen Puppet Master, I'm sure you've seen the puppets. They're iconic, and it's like seeing Michael Myers, you know, they're pretty iconic. I mean, and they used to be, for sure. I don't know about these days, but everybody knew about Puppet Master back in the day. And they all kill you in different ways and do different weird shit. Like, there's this like girl puppet, and that's like one of the most memorable scenes. Frank and I can't remember her name. I'm gonna get it wrong probably, but I want to say Carlissa. Yeah, it's Frank and Carlissa are about to like get it on in this bed, and they're doing it for like psychic purposes, so they can like see who else was doing it in that bed. And like anyway, he's tied up, and she ends up getting her face drilled out. And this one puppet, you know, spits out these, it like regurgitates leeches, and like she regurgitates leeches all over his body, and he thinks it's, you know, cheesy ass scene, but like he thinks it's Carlissa like doing weird shit to him. And it's this puppet, and they all get killed in like unique ways, and it's an awesome movie. But yeah, I'm gonna give this movie. This is a revolutionary film, and it spawned, you know, many more sequels after its release. I mean, and the same director does all of them, I believe. You know, I hope I'm not wrong about that, but I think he does all of them. And I mean, he's really milking it, because I'm pretty sure I saw on there that there's even like there's like sequels in between. It doesn't even make sense. There's a lot of like movies made after these. It's almost as bad as like Amityville, where there's like Amityville Horror, Amityville Begin. Like there's in the Texas Chainsaw, like they keep it. There's too many. But anyway, he's the one doing it. They're like, usually in these franchises, different directors and writers will step in and take over. Like with Halloween, you know, you had Rob Zombie do his thing, and you had, so it's like, but this guy really is milking the franchise, I think. But whatever, I mean, it is what it is, and they're awesome. I haven't seen all the sequels, but I don't really, you know, maybe someday if I come across it at the right time. But this one's iconic. It's the first one, so I figured I had to cover it. It's on Tubi for free, as are all of the movies that I'm reviewing in this month of October. They're all for free, so check them out if you see this review and this looks like something that you might want to see. That's the whole point of me doing it. I'm just shouting out cool movies that are worth watching, and if they're not so cool, I'll tell you. But this one's good. It's definitely, you know, a good October movie, even though it has nothing to do with Halloween. But it's cool. So definitely check it out. I'm gonna give it a solid 3 out of 5, and yeah, that's pretty much it for Puppet Master of 1989. And one of my childhood favorites. It's no longer really a favorite, but it brings me back to that time when I used to watch it when I was a kid, and it's fun to watch. So check it out and stay creepy.